Driving an IndyCar is extremely physical because not only am I in a 3-layer fireproof suit, fireproof gloves, boots, and helmet, I'm strapped into a 1,600-pound race car, 700 horsepower, traveling at up to and over 200 miles an hour. And then factor in that I'm competing not only half an inch off the ground and an inch off the walls, but inches away from other drivers for up to 500 miles in a race. I have type 1 diabetes and I was diagnosed in 2007.
The vast majority of people out there actually have type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, it primarily affects children, although it does affect adults as well. It's what we refer to as an autoimmune disease. So the body's immune system, which generally is a very good thing and protects you from infection and germs and so forth, begins to attack the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas. And that leaves the person with type 1 diabetes without the ability to make insulin or enough insulin to control their blood sugar. In type 2 diabetes, those individuals make insulin, but for a variety of reasons their body is resistant to that insulin, and they can be treated with medication, unlike people with type 1 diabetes.
Now, I was really nervous that it meant the end of my racing career.
People with type 1 diabetes require insulin administration by injection in order to survive.
I inject the insulin and vary the doses based on what I'm doing in a day.
Whether it's a stress of illness, a stress of a job, certainly driving a race car, that can certainly have effects on your blood sugar. And one of the things that I think Charlie's really highlighted is the need to monitor frequently.
On a normal day, I check anywhere between 5 and 10 times a day. Typically, though, on race weekend, it's a lot higher. I check 3 hours before the event, 2 hours, an hour, 45 minutes, half an hour, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It's the last thing I do before I put my gloves on. I also wear a continuous glucose monitor, which is a sensor that I have on my body, and it transmits a reading to a display that I Velcro to my steering wheel. So on my dash, I've got oil pressure, speed, blood glucose, lap time, gear. It's another sensor to make sure that my body's running right, just like the car is. If that CGM shows my blood glucose getting low, I've got a drinks bottle mounted in the car with a special tube that runs into my helmet. I fill that with orange juice or some other glucose-rich fluid. I can drink that sugar, bring my levels up, and I don't have to stop. It may be one more sensor to look at and one more thing to think about, but it's part of what I have to do to live my dream and do what I love, drive race cars.